Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into the Racekraft Simulations V8 Veterans for Season 24. Round 1 this evening for the Split 2 action out at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. I'm your commentator here tonight, Hamish Munro, joined, as always, once again by the great Brett Fisher alongside Brett. Massive night of racing on offer for us, 250 Ks around Spa on the eve of the Spa 24-hour weekend for GT and sports car fans out there. We bring the roaring V8 to the supercars here with some over 40s action, which is bound to bring chaos and bound to start us off on a hot note for season 24.
Mate, I am absolutely pumped. Season 24, let's go. Let's get it all fired up. Tonight's going to be a great start to the season. I've got a feeling in my loins. It's going to be exciting, and hopefully we've got the kick-off to a fantastic season like we did last season.
Well, I think it's going to be tough to beat last season as a whole. Last season, cinema masterpiece. It was like it was put together by some of the world's best directors and producers out there, because it just turned into, as I said, pure cinema from the start to the finish, for the ups and downs, the ebb and flowing of the championship, to come down how it did, and to crown Matt Muggleton as the season 23 Split 2 champion. It was heart racing throughout the whole season. If drivers weren't or didn't see the split reveals last weekend, of course we have drivers coming up from Split 3. We have a driver coming up from Split 4 in Luke Powell. So he jumped 2 splits. We have not had Ray Smith come up from Split 3. He's jumped all the way up to Split 1. And then,
thank goodness.
Yeah. For the drivers out there, thank goodness for the team owner of that particular outfit. We'll see how he goes in Split 1. And then there's also been some relegations from Split 1 as well. So last season we got no relegations. That made the season an absolute blinder comparatively to the season prior, which was still a good season, but last season was a lot more competitive at the front of the field. This season, though, could be just as competitive because we've come into it where drivers are on wood in terms of license points penalties. They've really got to be cautious because they have now carried over from last season. They reset them for last season. They've now carried over. So drivers have now got to be cautious and careful coming into this season in how they drive, how they approach every single race of every single week. It is important that drivers stay clean. We spoke about it pre-show, Brett. This season, more so than last season, is going to take consistency to win the championship. I'm a believer that you're going to need at least 2 wins to win the championship. It'll be a hard yakka job to get it done with 1 win. So I think the winner's going to need at least 2 wins, and they're going to have to be ultra consistent to win this title. If you find yourself in the position with license points penalties that you cop your pit lane start and then you cop a round ban, I think that's pretty much almost going to put a line through your name a little bit because you can't drop your ban round. You have to take the 0. So that's going to make it a whole lot harder, and it's going to make it hurt a whole lot more. So drivers are going to have to be cautious in regards to that. Let's have a quick look, though, at one of the longest circuits. I think, actually, no, it is the longest circuit on the calendar, particularly for the layout itself. It's not the longest circuit that we go to, but we're using a different layout of that other circuit down the line in the season. Not too far away from Brussels here in Belgium is Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, just on the northern edge of the town of Francorchamps itself. We trickle our way on down to check out what I believe almost looks like an Uzi. It's very, very gun-shaped is the shape of this circuit. It's a long circuit as well. As I said, very well known for the Spa 24-hour. The iRacing official for that event will be going live very, very soon. The real-life racing event will be going live this coming weekend. Super Pole's already happened this week. The race goes live tonight, actually, for the 24-hour. It all starts on the main straight up towards La Source at turn 1. Tight corner, turns back on itself. With 40-plus cars in the field tonight, Brett, I think it's going to be an early spot for carnage. We could very well see a lap 1, turn 1 incident tonight. If they somehow survive that, they then have to get the power down, get the car up to speed for the run-up through Eau Rouge at 2, Radillon at 3 and 4, to then try and maximise their pace down the Kemmel Straight. Now, the difference about this circuit is we are running the updated 2024 variant of the track with the wider bearing at Radillon, where you got a lot more runoff to the left and you got a little bit more runoff to the right as well. So if you make a mistake up through Eau Rouge, you can then at least kind of cross the track at Radillon. But the issue with it is the slowdown that you cop of it is absolutely monstrous.
It's still easy to get an off track. It's still easy to get an off track and a slow down through that section of the track, and it took in practice me quite a fair bit to get a good line through there and be comfortable coming through there.
Yeah, I think I saw through practice as well. Rear end of the car's getting a bit loose up through Radillon too, so hopefully the drivers can keep that in check tonight and how the setup's going to really suit them. If you can make it down the Kemmel Straight, though, you get up to Lacombe at 5 and 6, then to Malmedy for turn 7 as well. Again, this is a good passing opportunity. Could be an area where we see issues happening. Another thing as well, before we move away from the Kemmel Straight, last time we were here, massive accident on the Kemmel Straight. That then caused us to cop a safety car. We could see that happen again tonight. Drivers are going to have to be cautious. It is a fast-paced area. If you can get through 7, you then get down to Rivage at 8 and up towards No Name at turn 9. This is, again, a difficult section of track. We saw some cars getting loose through the other splits across the weekend. If they can keep themselves tidy, they can then set themselves up for a good run through No Name and not trying to run it too wide into the sand. There again, there's a little bit more of a wider berth there with the updated variant of the circuit. So you got a little bit more wiggle room through there, but you're trying to get the run down towards Pouon / Double Gash for turn 10 and 11, and just trying to get the car through there, very difficult. You are dancing on a knife's edge through the double left at 10 and 11 there, Brett, and keeping the car balanced so you can get a run down toward Lefang at turn 12, 13.
I'm such a child. I had to have a laugh at Pouon.
Both names, to be fair, are very, very taut, we'll say. They're very, very taut.
Keep going, otherwise I'll just keep laughing about it.
So then the rundown towards 12 and 13. Good opportunity for side-by-side action through here. If you set yourself up at 12, you can then get the outside run at 13, which then sets you up for the inside at 14 at Campus. And then the run through Stavelot for 15 as well. Tough off-track through here. Run it a little bit too wide towards the sand trap on the left. You'll cop the off-track for it. That's one thing that drivers are going to have to be careful of tonight is the off-tracks and how many can you get. You've got 17 to play with before you get a penalty, and this is one of the toughest circuits for it. If you can make it through there, you then start the long, fast run towards the end of the lap, starting with curve Paul Frere, and then up towards 16. Then at the infamous Blanchimont at 17, where we can see drivers getting loose, getting caught by the outside curb and getting sent hard left into the wall, or running it too wide and getting hard right into the wall as well. If you make it through there, you then get up towards the bus stop chicane under brakes at 18 and 19. One of the tightest corners on the circuit, can offer an overtaking opportunity though. So I think for tonight, if you can keep yourself clean, keep yourself out of trouble, keep yourself out of pit lane, you could do well. But it is one of the toughest circuits that we could ever start the series with. And it is honestly going to separate the contenders from the pretenders in the very first round, Brett. It is going to separate them straight away. Yeah. This layout has been used ever since 2007. The circuit was first opened in 1921. 7.004 Ks, 4.3 miles in the old language, 19 turns in a clockwise direction. Course well known in recent history for the deaths of two long drivers. Probably the more famous of the two was back in 2019 during an F2 race across the F1 weekend, the loss of Antoine Hubert as well. So that's what this circuit's kind of become infamous for over the period. But in saying that, we come into this season with, plenty of butts on seats, plenty of heads on a swivel in terms of how is this season going to play out, Brett. And I think when we look at the calendar, this season looks to be an absolute cracker, just to steal your line from you. Obviously, Spa for the first round of 250 Ks. Road Atlanta next week, 200 Ks. Long Beach for round 3 for 200 Ks. Then we head out to Portland Raceway, debuts in the Vets around 4 at 150 Ks. Then to Road America for 200 Ks as well. That first half of the season, going to be very, very tough. We then return to Europe for round 6 at the Hockenheim Ring at 450 Ks. Then over to Circuit de Jerez for round 7 for 200 Ks. Then Tailem Bend makes its debut into the Vets for our one and only 300-kilometre race this season in round 8 at the International Circuit, the same layout that supercars use in real life. Then Misano makes its debut into the Vets for round 9 at 200 Ks, and then we return to the old faithful Okayama for round 10 of 250 Ks at the end of the season. This championship, it's going to be tougher to win than last season, I think, Brett, especially with this calendar. This is honestly going to be so tough to keep yourself clean. And again, it's going to separate those drivers who can stay in it and stay hungry for the title race towards the end.
I tell you what, you're going to have to break out the salvo to try and keep yourself clean through through these rounds. It's going to be one intense race after another, and you're going to have to try and make sure you get through cleanly. And as we talked about before, consistency is going to be the key. Trying to put yourself in a good spot all throughout this season and keep the points coming in without trying to sort of just do those silly mistakes and get yourself in a tangle. That is going to show that at the end of that, we're going to see a champion no matter what. And it's going to be a well-thought-out battle, I think, throughout this series.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're going to get into our racing proceedings here tonight, as qualifying has come to an end for these drivers this evening. The starting grid will be as follows. Rob Crisdale makes his way down from Split 1 this season. He'll start pole position for Frog Leap Juice Racing tonight alongside ARTT Revolution E-Racing's Trent Allen, who we've both agreed over the last 2 seasons, Brett, if he would have gotten a full season under his belt, he would have been a contender. Can he get a full season under his belt for season 24? If he does, my money's on him. Honestly, he is so quick. He's so consistent. He's going to be one to beat. Chad Viger returns to form and starts out of P3 alongside Bruce Tannock, who comes down from Split 1 for Mag and Turbo Motorsports out of P4. Craig Friend, Luke Powell then line up alongside each other. Friend coming down from Split 1, Powell coming up from Split 4, so you couldn't get more opposites starting alongside each other inside the top 10. Mick Clifton, Mikey Harland then gets us to our third and fourth returning split 2 drivers on the grid in 7th and 8th, with Damon Fisher and Robbie Griffiths makes his return to split 2 for the first time in about 8 seasons. He'll start inside the top 10 for Fishy Motorsports. Shane Randall continues his strong run of form from last season, starts at a P11. He was the best of the rest last season. Technically, he is the number 1 seeded former split 2 driver of season 23. He'll start alongside Wade Reynolds, who's come down from split 1 for JWM Simsports out of P12. As we move our way back, we see Tim Mulford and Matt Scholes lining up alongside each other, with Darren Crosby in his 200th race start this evening of the Vets. Massive congratulations to Darren. We'll see how he does here at Spa this evening for P15. Chris Blanchard will line up alongside him in P16, with Michael Quain and Alistair Bales for your 9th row of the grid, ahead of yourself, Brett, in P19, with Andrew Hoffman alongside you for the top 20. Scott McKenzie, Lorne Mackay, Paul Burns and Ben Brook will then make up our top 24 on the grid, with Steve Lanyon, Reese DeGoey and all SLS Racing 13th row, ahead of Halil Cesar in his debut for Infinity Motorsport tonight. A poor qualifying from him. We'll see how he does in racing conditions, starting at a P27 in the 5 car. He'll start alongside Scott Weston, who's been on a good run of form recently ever since the internet upgrade that he got. It's found him internet speed. It's also found him car speed as well, so we'll see how that pays off tonight at Spa. Simon Heddersheet, Simon Haynes, and all Simon 15th row of the grid. They'll line up ahead of Zippy, Adrian Zeal and Dave Arney in behind them, with Brad Doble coming down from split 1 this season. I'm sure he would have been expecting a better qualifying from himself. We'll see how he does throughout the season. He'll start tonight alongside Rick Viger, with Sean Cullen and Matt Monday in behind him. We are getting there, Brett. We're on our 4th page at the moment. Derek Lovegrove, Brett Taylor, Jeremy Bush, Peter Baxter ahead of Mark Houghton, Matt Stoyles, Nick Hasler, Richard Barella as well, Todd Duggan and Michael Jones not setting times in the server. Greg Shelton joined the wrong server at the start of the night. He then found his way over to the split 4 server as well. But 46 cars on track tonight.
Yep.
All heading into turn 1. Oh, it's going to be spicy.
Well, and just want to quickly, before we, well, it's probably going to go anyway, but the top 15, here we go. I'll save for later.
So let's see how they do on the run down towards turn number 1. It's lights out for season 24 as Crisdale leads us away. It's a hot start from Tannick in behind. There's a bit of door-to-door action already as they scramble down towards 1. Look at how many cars there are coming through. Do any of them survive? Hoffy's been spun round and it's chaos already at turn number 1. Drivers are having to take evasive action out into the sand.
Still more going on ahead.
There is.
As well, there's people going absolutely everywhere. Up front, we're getting a nice little runaway. But that was crazy through turn 1. That was absolutely mental.
Absolutely mental. So many cars on track and towards turn 1, and it was literally a blink and try and survive as best you can. That was the thought process for the drivers here tonight, it seems. So as Crisdale leads us round, we can check out the battle for first place already. So he's got a nice little lead already over Viger, but Chad's gone with him. Yeah,
but Chad's come up with him too. Like Crisdale pulled there, but you can see the attitude on Chad's car. Like he's closed up really strongly there, although he's dropped off dramatically there. I wonder if he's had a slowdown.
Quite possibly could have copped a slowdown at some point. That's one thing drivers need to be cautious of. Not only when they get the slowdowns and where they get them, but actually serving them correctly, of course. Cannot serve the slowdown on the racing line. Got to get offline to serve it. Could lead to some penalties if drivers are found out to be doing that here this evening. So as Crisdale leads us around from Puon up towards 12 and 13, Viger's done well to go with him at this stage. Unfortunately, the early losers out of all that carnage that happened back there: Brook down 22, Blanchard down 28, Burns down 19, Hoffman down 21, Crosby in his 200th race start down 24, Bales down 10 as well. So not the hottest start to the season they would have been after, but they'll be hoping that they can continue pushing on forward.
So Robert Crisdale up, obviously going well in front at the moment, but Chad Viger up 1, Trent Allen down 1, Bruce Tannick is 4th where he started, same as Craig Friend, Luke Powell, Mick Clifton, Mikey Harland. And then out the top 10, Robert Griffiths is in 9th, Shane Randall up 1 in 10th. That rounds out our top 10.
So as we run it round to start lap number 2 of 36 here this evening, we have officially done 7 Ks of season 24 as Matt Scholes is off the road and it's down at turn 1. And I think you may have been involved as well, Brett, because I think I saw you dropping a couple of spots there, taking evasive action, perhaps.
You know, it's taking evasive action, and there was a bit of a melee there, so I just had to slow up a little bit, and a couple of cars got past me, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll work it out.
So there's been some hot starters down the field too. Michael Jones up 16, starting from the back of the field. Matt Stoyles up 11 now, starting towards the back. Mark Houghton up 13. Good to see him back in split 2. Been a little while from Mark. Had a very strong season last season. Pretty hard, though, to contest the dominance of Ray Smith from split 3. That's why he's gone to split 1 this season. But for Mark, hoping for a strong run in his return this season. Matt Monday up 12 at the moment. Brett dropped a couple of positions there. You didn't cop a slowdown, did you, like Scott McKenzie?
Nope.
Okay, just took and lost some overtakes there, it seems.
Yeah, I think that was all it was. It was just, getting a few cars sorted out and things like that. So
this is looking like a hot battle pack here. Cesar's had a hot run off the line as well. He got kind of held up in that initial incident at 1. Found his way past, though. He's already up 6. Zippy up 12, and a great start from him for Team AJR as well.
I was just about to mention Zippy. He's done really well to get himself up there, 11 spots. Obviously taking fantastic advantage of some of that melee. You know what I'm trying to say? Melee, yeah.
I'd call it lap 1 melee.
You say Minogue, I say
Manouge.
Yeah, whatever it was. Who knows? But Zippy doing really well there.
Scotty as well, up 11 too. So
yep.
I mentioned that this new speedy internet that he's got himself over in the West has found him some pace, it seems. It looks like it's continuing. It looks to be a continuing trend for him. Lorne Mackay up 7 as well, with a massive sideways run onto the back straight. And Lanyon up 11 too, so some big movers.
Sideways, big times there. It was actually compressed quite dramatically there for a second.
Oh, Chris Blanchard. Oh, my God. That car's been absolutely destroyed down there. And from his blinking, I have a feeling it may have been possibly a CPU flag from that moment, possibly, because you can cop the CPU flag, and then one of two things, I believe, this is what I've come to believe can happen. I may be wrong. I'm happy to be corrected. You either, just like the pink flag, will get sent back to pit lane, or you just lose control of the car and send you into the wall. Those are the two options I have found happen. Both absolutely heartbreaking, as Lanyon and Mackay are still battling back here for P14 real estate up towards Eau Rouge.
Trent Allen also attacking Viger at the moment as well, so they're side by side.
Up towards Lacombe, turns 5 and 6.
Looks like Trent. Viger's just got it back. Yeah. So Trent doing the smart thing, just backing out there. Living on to fight another day. Looks like he's got a fair bit of pace there. Rick about 1.3 seconds, 1.5 seconds off their leader at the moment, Chris Dale.
And they're still battling away. Craig Friend, Luke Powell as well have just made their way past Bruce Tannick too. So both these guys on the run this season. I'm excited to see what Powell can do. Obviously he's got some mega pace, and he's obviously been jumped the 2 splits up to split 2 this season. I think he's probably right where he should be here in split 2. Give him a chance to battle away with some of these guys, formerly a split 1 and currently in split 2. And this is, I have a feeling that split 2 is probably the best measuring stick of, do you truly deserve to be in split 1, or are you a driver that may be someone who goes back and forth season after season? And that's then the test of overcoming split 2, because it is a difficult split to win. It is. It is,
yeah. And that's what I was just about to say before we started, is the top 15, and I know throughout the whole pack it's the same, but the top 15 has got old split tours, new split tours, as in the ones that have come down, and new split tours, the ones that have come up. So what a fantastic mix to be in that top 15 in the first race. And that just goes to show you how close it is.
It is incredibly tight this season, not just for split 2, but from the number 1 seeded driver of Jordan Ross all the way down to the 200th seeded driver down in split 4 as well. It is tight amongst the splits. It is tight amongst the whole field. You could cherry pick a couple of drivers to be swapped in between, and you'd probably still get a top level season out of them no matter where they end up. So it is, it's a good test for some, struggle for others. A couple of drivers inside the 10 yet to make moves, that being Mick Clifton and Mikey Harland as well of Accelerate Sim Racing and Southern Cross Racing. Of course, Mikey took over as one of the co-owners of the team alongside Hoff for this season. Officially joins his first Vets team coming into season 24. We'll see how that plays out for him. Last year, he ran it solo as a privateer, so maybe he could get a couple of better performances this season now that he is fully involved in the team and has the team around him and he's around the team, and they can all start working together to get some solid performances because they've got to back up what they did last season with Jim.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll be very interested to see how the whole season pans out for a lot of these guys now. Actually, I'm really pumped to see where everyone finishes and how everyone improves and things like that, you know. And I was just about to say that, you know, like some of the splits, like the mid-split 2-pack for last season, you know, like you're going to find yourself in limbo if you can't sort of, you know, improve your times and improve your racecraft and things like that. And that's one of the real head sort of mess arounders is that you're going to be faced with, because, you know, some of these guys from split one come down and they put some amazing times out there. Just when you think you're starting to sort of move forward, you sort of get pushed back down again. So yeah, it's hard to actually keep yourself focused and you know, just keep on doing what you're doing and try and improve. So it's you know, and also looking at some of the guys coming in from the lower splits, they're going to be, you know, on the high of actually having a really good season, and then, you know, are they going to come into split 2 and be in that mid pack, or are they going to be stuck down the lower part? But, you know, that's all to be decided and unfold as this season goes on. Oh, we've got a bit of
dust thrown. That was
yeah.
I think that was Skulls and Lovegrove into 12 and 13. So obviously Matty Skulls got some good pace about him, trying to come back through the field. Lovegrove as well. So maybe had a bit of a cuddle down there at the bottom of the hill,
or a bit of a touch up,
possibly.
Yeah, probably better than a cuddle. I don't know whether they'd be cuddling.
Well, you know, people often say, you know, trying to mess around on the beach from time to time, it's about as PG as I can put it. But if you find having sand in your shoes annoying, you definitely don't want it somewhere else then. So,
no,
probably not the best idea to have a cuddle down there in the sand trap.
Definitely not.
We've got a heap of chats out there tonight as well. You're in there, Brett, hyping them up for us. Wayne Sanderson too, great to see you out there with us, Wayne, as well as Brad Grant as well. The 47th is with us too, carrying the tradition as well. So great to have you guys watching with us too. I did miss your comment on the last stream, I do apologise. Dave Arnie's out there with us as well. He's landed for us. Hello Cesar, have a bit of pizza, and he's seeing some drifting while he's watching us here tonight as well. So good to have him out there with us. I've just seen as well Darren Crosby. Where is he on the list? Has just had an incident. He's kept it going though at the back of the field. So not the start to his 200th race in Vets he would want here, as Bruce Tannick is dropping some spots now. So he is really in the wars tonight. He's one of those drivers, unfortunately, has to be cautious because he's on wood for getting close to a penalty here in the Veterans because of his license points. So, yeah, hopefully Bruce can keep it nice and clean and keep himself racing this season. That's all we want from any of our drivers in Split 2.
Oh, definitely. And just looking back, Michael Jones, car number 77 for Reaper Racing, he's up 20 spots in 29th at the moment. So good on him having punching above his weight there. So
didn't qualify though. Didn't qualify. So I think whatever Michael gets on, unfortunately, we have to go back. I know we broke a couple of rules in the Driver of the Day conversations last season, but I think because we're at the start of the season, we've got to knuckle down there and get back to the rule set. And unfortunately, we can't give it to someone who did not qualify tonight. But we will shout him out for a great performance if he finishes that one.
Yeah, we'll just say, I mean, it's only lap 5. I mean, hey.
If we're deciding it on lap 5, something wrong's happened if we're deciding it by now. We've also still got chats out there too from Matt Muggleton as well. Great to have you out there, Matt. Damon Fisher in the chat with us too tonight as well. Mikey Harland out there with us, as well as Sly Kiwi too in the chat with us. And Mark Poynton, great to have you back in the chat with us, Mark. And Matty Monday's out there with us too. Mikey commenting, Hamish sneaking cameras into my car while I'm off getting a pie. That's what happens, Mikey.
Wade Reynolds just going into pits by the look of it.
Yep, so an early stopper of JWM Simsports for Wade Reynolds. Had the pleasure of commentating for quite a few seasons with one of his teammates / team boss, Brad Hudson. So shout out to Hutto of that team there. Good to see Wade coming through. Actually, no, it's a drive-through. It's not actually a pit stop.
Sorry,
so
there you go.
he's having a drive-through pit lane.
Obviously, got smack on the wrist for something.
Yep. Adrian Zeal in the chat with us too. Only pick left-handers.
Zippy.
He's confused me with that one, to be fair, but Zippy often can confuse people.
It must be a zip. Yeah, it's probably a Zippy thing.
Yeah.
So just looking at Lorne Mackay up, he's just actually Tim Mulford. He's just overtaken Tim Mulford at 12 spots, 12th place, 10 spots. Steve Lanyon's up 11 spots in 14th at the moment, and Scotty Weston up 13 in 15th at the moment. So good little battle pack going on there.
Not too far off him as well. Halil Cesar up 9 into P18, so he's only one away from his 10th overtake of the race, it seems, as Wade Reynolds has rejoined from pit lane, and he's actually had an off track, so not the start to his season that he would have been after tonight. Zippy's also up 12, which is a great effort. Monday, Houghton, Jones, Taylor, Stoyles all up in the double digits as well, so this has been a great start of the race for them. Got Andrew Rushworth in the chat with us too, so absolutely fantastic to have you joining us once again tonight. Great to see the old Split 2 drivers joining us as well, trying to check out the lay of the land that they left behind.
Yeah, they just can't get away from Hamish.
No, they can't.
They just love it.
They can't. No,
they just love it.
Pulled at their heartstrings too much when they left us. That they refuse to leave us now. So
I must just give a quick shout out to Brad Doble too. He has been as crook as a dog for the last probably half a week or so. He was fighting the flu or whatever it was, and he was pretty crook. And he didn't get much time to practice. And we weren't even sure that he was actually going to make the race last night. No, the night before, Thursday night. Sorry. And so he's great effort for him, even though he's out in 32nd. Don't hold that against him. I think he's a much better driver than what he is.
I do as well.
Yeah, it's just purely for the fact that he was crook as a dog.
Yeah, I've seen what Brad can do before. When I've had the pleasure of calling his races in SRW quite a few seasons ago. So looking forward to see what he can pull out of it this season.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm actually quite looking forward to him, sort of having a decent go, because I think and I'm hoping him being in this split might actually help me raise up a little bit too. So.
As Reynolds is back in pit lane, I'm going to assume for an actual stop this time. Surely not a second drive-through in the brewed coffee entry. Logan Barnett in the season as well. In the season, in the chat with us as well. Great to have you back in here with us. Well, I mean, he could be here every single week chatting away with us, possibly. You say feel like this is going to be a great season in Split 2, solid lineup. I think it will be as well, Logan.
Hey, it's Saturday's not on Saturday nights anymore and hasn't been for years.
I was going to say, I don't think it's on at all anymore, is it? I think that show was taken off the air many years ago, surely.
That's right, yeah. So it's not on anymore. So come and join us on a Saturday night. There's nothing better.
No, that's right. That's right. I agree with you, Logan. I think the season's going to be great. It's going to be so tough to beat the pure cinema of season 23, though. That season, I think if you cherry pick single races, then you're missing out. You've got to watch it from start to finish. I'm actually going to take the time to go back and watch it. As much as I hate watching back my own broadcasts. Tannic on Griffiths does the job. That's a great move on him.
Mate, don't write off this bloody season.
I'm not.
We're only bloody 7 laps into race 1 season 24.
I'm not writing it off at all. I think
I'm just getting going.
I'm
pumping it up.
Every season of the Gen 3 era has had something different about it. So obviously the first season it was a record breaker season in terms of breaking win records and stuff like that. This last season was probably the closest season we've had for a long time. This season, I think, the flavour of this season, I think, is, as we mentioned, is going to be consistency. It's staying consistent, staying in the battle, staying in the top 10, and trying to get wins when you can. And I think if you can win races early, you're putting yourself in a much better position than trying to chase them towards the end of the season. Because you might get to round 9, round 10, find yourself in the championship battle, but without a race win, you really need a win or two to keep yourself in that fight, and that's what's going to be important. But I think similarly to last season, Brett, we're not going to know who are the contenders until like round 5 or 6. That's when we're going to know. And we'll talk about the points throughout the season, of course, but you got to take the points with a grain of salt, because any week a driver can miss a race, or any week a driver can have a poor result, and it completely changes it on its head.
Yeah, look, things are going to happen, and as we alluded to a little bit earlier, that license points is going to play. It's going to play into this series, and I think that's going to be playing more than what we'd probably not hoped, because it is what it is. But we'll see how that all unfolds. So just at the moment, Chris Dar's still out in front, so he's doing well. He's got about nearly 2.5 seconds on Viagra at the moment. Brendan Allen having a great little battle here with Powell about 2 seconds behind them.
I select the right camera that I want.
That's all right.
I mean,
and then further back, that little paddle pack that we were looking at before, which was Tannock, Griffiths, Randall and Fisher, brother Fisher. That's a great little battle pack there too, in the top 10, 11. And there are some battles going on further down the list as well.
Got some great battles happening here. On board with Shane Randall, who sits in the middle of this little battle pack. He's got Griffo and Tannock ahead of him, and then Fisher being Damon and Mackay in behind. So I mean I'm hoping for a good season for Shane. He had a very strong, consistent season last season, a real return to form.
As you would, being the team owner.
Well, this is true, Jesus. But I mean, not just as his team owner, but also as a commentator as well, because I think, if he doesn't, I'm not going to claim that if he doesn't back up what he did last season, then it's a failure, because I don't think it is. I think if he can manage to stay inside the top 10, it's a very solid season from him. Yeah. And I think the same for his teammate Halil Cesar. And I think the week or the round that they qualify near each other, they're going to be two to watch, because they're going to be able to work together, and they're going to be able to battle their way through the field. They're of a very similar pace. They finished last season one position between each other. Shane was 6th, Cesar was 7th, so they were they're the two top seeded split 2 drivers of season 23 who remained in split 2. And
look, when a driver is on and they're starting to perform, and they're starting to everything's starting to happen for them, and as you can see yourself, is that you want the best for them, and you can see that things are getting motivated and things are happening. So you hope that momentum continues. And like what we saw with Jim Caparonis last season, he was on a heater. Unfortunately, there was a few things that unfortunately didn't go his way, but you could see the momentum he had, and that sort of comes with a few drivers throughout this list. Just looking at Cesar and Quaney side by side.
It's a good move there from Halil down the inside at Lacombe, and then
big old.
He's at the drifts tonight. Is Cesar, and he just gave us a little drift then on the exit of Lacombe. So good move from him though. But I think what the interesting point, because I always find it how a teammate or teammates can actually play a big difference in your season, and it can completely change how you prepare for your season. So Shane hasn't had a teammate in split 2 since season 20. I believe, or season 21 was the last time he had a teammate in split 2. So he's been solo for the first 3 seasons or the first 2 seasons of Gen 3. This is the first season for the full season that he'll have an actual teammate on track with him, and how that will then help affect his season as well, as Fisher is blinking like bluggery in behind him.
Yeah, but also just watching Griffiths in front of Randall, the attitude on Griffiths' car is getting a little bit sideways, and Randall really closing that gap there. So Randall's starting to really put a little bit of pressure on Griffiths at the moment.
He's hanging with him at this stage.
Yeah, just backs off there a little bit, then straight into it, and he's taking a bit of inside look, putting that little bit of pressure, showing the nose in the mirror. So he comes out onto the front straight here, gets a nice tight line, straightens the wheel as much as possible, but gets it around about evenish.
So then the thought is, for the team game this season as well, Brett, how does this, obviously Chad's showing good pace tonight on board the Angry Birds car. If Rick can get up to that pace as well, how will that affect, and then obviously with Nick out there too with them, how will that then affect their team strategy this season? What about for Old Mate and Sons? This is probably the most cars they've had in this split.
Fisher just pitting, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Damon's in the pit lane. you know, how does that affect their team? M1 too, they've obviously got Crosby and Powell. XSR, they've got Clifton and Mackay. Harland and Hoffman of Southern Cross Racing as well. As Randall shoots the half up the inside of Griffo, but he's blown it up at Lacombe. Has to come back on the track.
Well, those little mistakes are going to be costly,
Yep.
especially, you know, like, top 10 stuff. You got to keep it nice and neat and tidy, so
Yep.
that'll be hurting.
That'll be a learning experience for him, just being
Yeah.
like, don't make that mistake again, it seems. You know,
Talking about learning curves, and I think you're alluding to what I was getting at. Are you preceding something that's coming up?
no, I was going to say, because we kind of half mentioned it before with Brad coming in, and you mentioned that you're hoping that that's now going to help you just to kind of stay on the partial point of teammates. How this can now affect your team season as well. You know, Sean, he struggled last season a little bit, especially when he was as lap traffic with other drivers. Hopefully now for you guys this season, with Brad in here, obviously he's one of your faster drivers, probably the fastest driver out of the lot of you that's in this split. How this will now help you guys raise your game a little bit and maybe help train you guys up a bit more. Oh, also Houghton as well. Thank you, Andrew. Sorry. Yes, Mark Houghton as well in here for XSR. So thank you for pointing that out.
Very good.
So how that's now going to affect you guys as a team, help bring you guys up. Obviously, you had your best performance last season. You've had to date as well. So how that's now going to help you guys out. So
hoping to sort of continue along that run. You know, and I mean up in 14th at the moment, so I'm happy with where I am at the moment. So you know, just trying to consolidate from last season. And Mickey Clifton just in pit lane now, and
that there is a money shift and a blown engine, Brett.
Yeah, that's a double shift.
I'll be honest with you, Brett. Did not plan that. It just so happens that I selected the lap that you actually blew the engine. I'll be honest. I didn't even notice what lap we were on.
Fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay.
But at least we've seen it. So
yeah.
And there are,
you know, hey, I'm happy to put my hand up. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect, and I'm on a learning curve. And I just once it happened, you go, oh, it's happened, and you just go, right, get back into it, and try and consolidate as much as you can. But look, I mean, for those first 10 laps, I was pretty happy with where I was sitting. I thought, look, we could be going all right here, but you never count your chickens. So Crisdale's still out in front at the moment.
Yep.
Rick Viger about 2.5 seconds behind. Friend right on his tail. Trent Allen in 4th spot. Powell in 5th at the moment. And we see a barrage of people in pit lane taking a complete advantage of some full double shifting.
Yeah, someone forgot their rod and reel when they went to the lake there. Missed out on catching some fish, it seems. But yeah, I mean that kind of bottom half of the field all taking advantage of that. The likes of Viger and Crosby and Fisher, who pitted prior to the safety car being called, so those guys are now gained some spots too. There is Darren Crosby in his 200th start tonight, down 6 at the moment, but I actually think he'll probably gain a couple more now since he's already taken his first stop. Too early to take the second. The critical lap was roughly lap 19 through lap 21, depending on your fuel usage. But definitely if you can save some fuel under this safety car, that can then kind of help out your strategy a bit more, especially those who will come in and take fuel. At this point of the race, probably only able to fit around about 70 odd litres in the car. So if you can save a lap under the safety car, that will help you in the second stop, as we're going to just assume that Robert Crisdale is going to come in, because why wouldn't you? It's a free pit stop, it's a safety car. In he comes, doesn't turn to the left to take the corner, and these guys all come in as well. Viger, Friend, Allen, Powell in, Harland in, Tannick, Griffiths, Randall, Mackay. Have you got a friend at the moment, Brett? No, you're still there on your own.
Not yet. I was just about to say we need to see.
Yeah,
Where's
we're waiting for the recovery vehicle at this stage.
Yeah.
Dave Arney, he has pit at the moment. We've got the update on Hoff's performances tonight by way of Ukraine, so we appreciate those. I mean, it helps actually, because those guys are now focusing on where Hoffy is, so that actually helps us talk about Hoffy a little bit more. Hoping for a strong season from Hoffy this season. Obviously new team dynamic. doesn't now have to put the focus into Jim, trying to support Jim's championship. For the start of the season, he can try and support his own, see how Mikey does. If Mikey's on for a hot season, then they may put some more support into his run as the top half of the field have all come in. Mick Clifton just coming through. He's actually rejoined in P5 after he's already taken his pit stop.
Oh, and Dave Arney has let the grey smoke out as well.
So it appears...
Just come to see how I'm going, make sure I'm not too lonely out there.
It's ironic, Brett. Your last name's Fisher.
Yep.
And that car is, that team is well known as the Pelicans.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just picking up the scraps.
Yeah, he is. He's coming to pick up a bit of fish out the ocean, and the recovery vehicle, unfortunately, is now stuck there. So drivers are behind the safety car at the moment. We expect a wave around to come the way of Ben Brook, who is still out on track and a lap down. His teammate at the moment, Rob Crisdale, leads the way. Chad Viger and co making their way up as well. No, it's good. You know, each team's got to have their fans out there, and we appreciate you keeping an eye on Hoffy as well. Because again, I mean, you guys are giving us updates on Hoffy whilst we're focused on other things, so it means we can keep up to date with him, and then anyone else out there who's watching and supporting their favourite team in the field, they can keep us updated on them as well. Because more updates we get, the more we can talk about whilst we're watching something else. So it's good to see. I think at this point, Brett, I mean, the strategy now surely is going to be, well, I mean, for you, it's get the new engine put in the car.
Get back to pit lane.
Quickest engine change in history, mind you.
I'm saving fuel at the moment, though.
Could you? And it'll be an interesting thing for the future. Maybe Vets Admin can think about it. Limited engine sets for the season. So if you blow your engine a certain amount of times, you've then got to pay for it if you do it again. So, say you use up 5 engines and you do it a 6th time, you then got to pay for it with championship points or something. It would really hurt you then if you copped a blown engine at some point.
Yeah. I don't like that idea. Obviously,
because you'd only have 4 left, or.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I blew 2 motors last season. I think was it 2 motors last season?
I think it was 2.
And I've never really done it before, so I'm just, when you're doing the downshift, I'm just downshifting too quickly, and it's just anyway, happens. It happens.
Apparently, Zippy's got a new bonnet. Oh, it's a shuttlecock. That's on his bonnet. So last season, Zippy had the rooster on his bonnet. He had his cock on his bonnet. Yeah, the rooster. And now he's got his shuttlecock on his bonnet. All I can ask is, where's the SpaceX branding on that shuttle? Yeah.
Let's ponder that.
Hopefully he doesn't have a badminton performance here tonight.
No.
We're not in a rally here, Brett. We're in a supercars race, so.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Yeah. I'd just like to go through. Look, Crisdale still out in front at the moment, doing a great job. Chad Viger, 2nd spot at the moment. Craig Friend up 2 spots in 3rd spot. 4th spot, Trent Allen. Luke Powell up 1 spot in 5th place at the moment. Tim Mulford up 7. So nice.
He's taken track position. So I think Tim is hoping for a long green run where he can now build gap back to those guys he was battling prior to the safety car. So this could play out for him. Mick Clifton, Lorne Mackay, 2 of the XSR cars in the top 10 now as well. I think Lorne's also taken track position. He's done about a 24.33 on his stop, so he'll be hoping for a similar scenario. Mikey Harland, Bruce Tannick, a couple of Kiwis just at the back end of the top 10. Damon Fisher in behind them. Looking strong tonight is
he's
Damon.
Going right. Yeah, he's going well.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Look, and I hope he has a good season, like we talked about before. Not that I want to beat him, of course. He's my brother. But I hope he's for the effort he does put in and stuff like that. I'd like to see him have a half decent season.
I think there's not many times we don't want to see a driver do well.
That's right. Yeah.
At least from my perspective, for the whole field, there have been barely any, and a very, very rare occurrence. Hasn't happened for a long time where I've wanted a driver in the field to do poorly. you know, obviously I have some level of favouritism when it comes to race night itself, of where I want my drivers to end up. But then there's also the thought of, well, how does this season progress? Who do I want to do well this season? Just based on, you know, how they've been progressing and how well they've been driving too, and kind of wearing those two separate caps. Obviously it can get a bit hard, because if you're doing a live broadcast and one of your teammates has an incident, well then, you know, I'm normally quite hypercritical of my drivers when they get into an incident. But then you've also got to dance that fine line of, are you hypercritical? Are you showing favoritism? And just trying to get that balance of how does this incident look? Normally, the easiest thing is we'll let RC decide. It looks to be a tough one. But then there's also sometimes where I just openly say, look, it looks like it was his fault, and he'll admit that. You know, so it's a tough run for him. But at the moment, good old Tom Freeman at the helm of the safety car. He's currently running in the... actually, they'll be finishing soon in the Watkins Glen Slicks Hour for OPR, so GTP class they are racing. I'm not sure how he's still doing. I haven't gone to check on that. I know that we spoke about it pre-show. I know Lester Craig did it today. He was in my split for the 9 a.m. session, so unfortunately due to a lap GT car who decided to battle with a GTP, who was passing them up through 2, 3 and 4 at Watkins, our car then copped damage from then crashing and hitting us. Would have been on for a top 5 if we kept it clean. Finished 11th in the end. So not a bad result of the day.
Not too bad.
Could have been a hell of a lot worse. Lester did quite well. He got himself a top 10 in his car, so they did very well. So it was a good race from those guys. But I woke up and the first question I asked the guys I was driving with, I was like, do we have GTPs in our split? And they're like, yes. And I was like, okay. Not going to be like last year. Last year we only had GTs. It was a nice easy day. This year it was, well, there goes the flow state, because now we've got to focus on GTPs looking to come past us. But
yeah,
that's one of those things when you go multi-class
just
racing.
Another dynamic, just another dynamic into the race, doesn't it? So, what I was going to say, if we should have a flick through the field there, Hamish, while we're on the safety car, and have a look at some new paint jobs for the season.
We got a couple of new ones out there. I noticed. M1 have updated their paint. It's kind of a combination. It's an updated version of an older version of their paint that they're running. It seems. Let me try and get a closer camera angle. Nope, that's even worse. That one will do. So yeah, slightly updated version of their car. Also for Darren Crosby too. He had that horrid start tonight. He's only down one position where he started now. He's done his first compulsory. So this is now genuine track position for Darren Crosby.
Sitting in a good spot.
He will drop a couple of spots though when he takes his second stop, because he does have to give up time in pit lane. Of course, tonight's race had a 70% cap on the tank, so they could only get to 93 litres on the fuel. So that did limit the strategy a little bit, so that will hurt him on the second stop. But if we do get a nice long green period and he can go past the critical lap, could still work out for him, because we could be on for some chaos throughout this one. It's been relatively tame ever since the commencement of lap 2. Obviously Halil Cesar updated cooler master livery for himself now at his new team of Infinity Motorsports.
Nice looking car again.
Thank you. Simon Hennessy still running the same paint. Team AJR running new liveries as well. That was designed by outgoing driver Dean Logsdale, who parted ways with the team to go to 9.5 Simsports. He left them with the parting gift of liveries for the team. So that was very nice of him. Safety cars pulled away. Updated liveries as well for Old Mate and Sons, I noticed too. So they've slightly changed the layout of those cars, of course updated for SCR. They've inherited the liveries of last season, or at least the layout of Mikey Harlan, but updated to match the team. So as we come around to start lap 14 of this race, it is green flag once again as Crisdale leads us up towards turn 1.
Managed to get a nice little jump there too. Like, it was very subtle, but he's got about 3/4 of a second on him. So his friend, about 3/4 of a second below Viger. So the front end just opening up a little bit there. We see Harlan and Tannick dropping back there.
They are getting feisty already. as Griffo comes past. Tannick and Griffith, so they're not gonna go side by side through Eau Rouge. Oh, there they are! Tannick goes round into the wall. Big contact for the Wagon Turbo entry off the road. Crosby already looking to come at Cesar now off this restart, so he wants to get his race moving along. That was a big one, and I think he's moving again though, so doesn't need the tow. Crosby getting
squeezed.
Absolutely squeezed like a lemon in towards Lacombe. They're going side by side.
There.
Bit of a door, knocking Cesar off the road. Comes back on. Sideways action for Crosby across the nose of Haynes. Oh, it is breaking down right now.
Yeah, and that's what happens on restarts. Everyone gets that little bit of excitement happening going. We're all on cold tyres. We're all close together. Let's try and force a move. So, Pedigree getting through on Crosby.
Yep. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, Brett, because probably not my place to comment on it. Your thoughts on that incident at Lacombe?
Yeah, two minds. I think, well, was he up far enough? I think they were side by side. Probably not quite enough racing room, maybe, given. Yeah, that's a tough one. You know, and it's hard too. You've really got to probably look at the nuts and bolts of it a bit closer to make sure that everything was followed as per rules. But yeah,
I think we can probably attest to probably a more difficult incident for RC to call upon. Because I think
not as clear cut.
There's a lot of little dot points you could put towards that incident. It's not quite clear cut.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
I don't know if it's been called in at this stage. I do know that Tannick called in the incident at Eau Rouge, but he'll be struggling for aero grip now.
Here we go.
Look at this, Sean Cullen gets past Bruce Tannick, but he is struggling for the rear end grip. Bush forced off the road down there. And I've noticed
that's probably due to that new modelling too, isn't it, with the loss of the rear bumper?
Yep, it's hurting the aero of that car, but there's no point pitting now to repair it.
Two cars in the background
that
there.
was Michael Quain and Richard Barella. Hard contact in towards the bus stop chicane, trying to get their cars going again, but that's big damage on Quainy's car.
Oh, that's huge. He's carrying the front splitter. He didn't
at least, no. Well, I mean, to be fair, there's no point pitting right now. You might as well go the next 5 or so laps, get to the critical, come in, fix the car, fuel it up, push on to the end. So,
and he doesn't know what he's got until he rolls away anyway. So, well, action aplenty at the moment happening. Steve Lanyon getting overtaken there.
And by Halil Cesar, who is on the move, up 13 at the moment. Weston up 16, chasing down Randall. Mackay up 14, but of course he'll give up some spots through the pit stops as well. Hoffy's just joined us in the chat. He's having a battle away here with Mark Houghton. These guys have had battles aplenty across the vet seasons. And back together again in split 2. But a good goal though from him.
Yeah, Houghton just tucking right back up against underneath Hoffing. Dable actually just getting himself sorted there as well.
He's tucked up behind Hoff and Houghton. He's got Baxter and Cullen not too far behind him. Oh, big slide from Houghton through Puon there. How in the hell did he catch it? I'm not sure.
Well, I reckon he might have had his poo on.
You might need some new jocks after that one.
Sorry.
Oh, you love your Mark. It was too good. Probably, you know what? We're starting it off hot, Brett. You've already had one of your best of the season with that one there, so that's a top effort. Rick Viger as well, solid effort through the strategy. He pitted on lap 2. He's up 17 spots now. Again, though, took a much shorter stop because of the fuel limitations, so he'll be hoping to try and at least get a good gain out of tonight when he gives up some time through pit lane.
And this is an angry-looking pack too behind here. Yeah. This is, when things tighten up, we just see up the front there, we see Lanyon having a bit of undertake of Hale Cesar.
These guys are going with it at the moment.
Yeah, that's on for young and old there. Or
I
old
mean,
and old in our
I mean,
cases.
are we surprised though, Brett? Because both Halil and Steve, very fired up drivers. Halil is a very focused racer. I know Steve is as well, and they are very quick. And both of them will be disappointed with their qualifying tonight. They would have been hoping to get around the top 10. So having to fight through the pack this evening is not going to be an easy go for them, as Halil just has to back out of it there in towards the comp.
Some of these battles I'm really looking forward to, because, you know, you're seeing, you know, the level of driving stepping up, the closeness of the time. So this is going to happen on track quite a fair bit, you know. Oh, Damon running a little bit wide there.
I think he has a slowdown possibly, either from Lecom or from Radion. You can serve it this deep, but or you're really straddling with danger if you're still serving your slowdown from Radion at this stage. But he's lost a couple of spots now to Randall and Weston. So Shane back inside the top 10, up 1 at the moment. Weston on an absolute flyer tonight, up 17.
Yeah, he was going well.
And I think for Scotty this season, I'm going to call it now. I'm going to call the cart before the horse here. I think Scotty is going to challenge the top 10 in the championship. I think
we'll note it down.
He has gotten some solid pace, and he's gotten so much more consistent. Whether he's inside the 10 or just outside of it, I think he'll be there or thereabouts. So maybe on the range from P12 to P8 in the championship.
Right,
I think is a fair range.
I hope he does. Yeah, no, because he's you know, just needs to get the consistency there, and he'll be there, and have a few good races. So Damon obviously served that penalty, you know, and now he's just trying to consolidate here in keep Griffiths off his back. So this is probably one of the tighter up the top end at the moment of town. Halsler and Burns getting quite close together further down the track. Hoffy on the back of Taylor and Doble on the back of Horton.
Yeah. I think Burns was involved in that initial incident at turn 1. He was really held up through that battle. So hoping for a strong season for Paul as well. Back into split 2 as Tanek brings his car into pit lane. So he's decided he's gone far enough before he fixes this car. The issue is he's 2 laps away from the minimum critical lap, and that is if you're running around about 5.4 litres of fuel on your runs. So for him, he's going to have to really fuel save.
He had to, though, because like that, he was struggling with that car big time. I know he was in front of me at one point there, and he was really struggling. Here it's on here.
Yeah, Hoffy and Houghton streamlined their way past Brett Taylor. Doble didn't manage to get by on this lap, so Hoffy's on the move. He's back up to P27. Apparently he was up 16 from the first corner incident. Make that 17 now to P27, and he's on the comeback train. I think if Hoffy can make it back to where he started this race, that is a very solid performance from him. Maybe good enough for us to nominate him tonight. We're going to think of different ways we can nominate people.
Yeah,
really show
the
battlers, you know. I think early on, taking strategies into consideration. Early on for me, and I don't normally like giving it to drivers with massive positions gained, although both these drivers have had to overtake for these positions.
It's all circumstantial though, too. Like,
it is.
Yeah, you know.
So I think early on, Scotty Weston having a blinder, he's had to actually overtake to get these positions, so it's been a great performance. And Halil Cesar as well. He's had to fight his way forward. Lanyon Degoe doing well amongst this pack too. Viga header sheet. Now I think out of these 5, it's whoever comes out on top that would have to get it, because they've all kind of gone together. Same with Zippy and a couple spots behind them as well. I think if Crosby can get a roundabout to where he started, he could cop a mention too. And then I think inside the 10, you know, maybe Clifton, maybe Harland. Possibly a Luke Powell if he can get it on the podium as well, because of course this is a big step up from split 4. Now I know Powell's got pace. I know he had pace coming into last season, but this is a massive step up in different race style to what split 4 is, no matter what pace you've got.
And this has got to be a huge confidence builder too for him to, you know, come into a split that he's done 2 splits. Sorry. one split. No, two. He's jumped one split to get into split 2. And then being able to sort of play where is at the moment, like he's got to be happy with so far how he's running this race. So definitely one to watch.
Yeah, yep, agreed. And I think, if we can balance throughout the season the movements of drivers who've gained positions by overtaking, drivers who've strategized their way forward, drivers who've kept their position in a spot where it would have been difficult to, and then also drivers who've overcome adversity to get to a solid position in the race. That will be the kind of balance that we'll be looking for. We'll be keeping the old rule of race winner can't win it. Again, those circumstantial. We gave the circumstance of Vandermeer last season because there was the wet race, and to win that how he did was incredible. You can't win it twice in a season as well. So I'm going to actually track who we give it to each week now, so then I don't forget.
I'm still waiting for my chubby bun from last season too, Jim.
Come on, Jim.
It's probably.
You live in New South Wales as well, so you actually have it easily available to you. I have to deal with Victoria where we don't have it.
Well, it's still a 4-hour trip. Plus,
but next time you go to Sydney or you go to Parramatta or something, just jump in.
I should make the effort. I should make the effort.
So
anyway, back to racing.
I think having us balance that this season is going to be important. I suppose the difficulty we got to last season was, which we have the last few seasons, is we get to the final few rounds and the drivers are finishing in the 10 pretty much have all won it by that point of the season. So then it's like, well, we kind of need a real outlier here who's actually done very well. We have broken both those rules, Andrew, but again, we broke the rule of nomination twice because that was an exceptional performance, and the race winner one we did because it was a wet race. So it was that was excruciating circumstances. You know what? I'm going to say it now, Brett. I think we're going to for the rule for the wet races is the race winner can win it. If their performance is good enough, I think we can nominate them, but only for wet races.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, okay. I think we just, Oh, what's going on there?
Michael Jones has just pulled over on the side of the road at the start-finish line.
He's waiting for the start of the race or something.
I don't know. We're only doing one race tonight. We're not doing. It's not a sprint round.
No.
Still waiting for the sprint round to return. Actually, I don't know.
I did see his car parked there. I was wondering what was going on. And has he gone? Unless he's had some sort of hardware failure or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, quite possibly. Maybe a screen freeze of some kind. No. Well, sometimes it's fun to break your own rules, Mikey, that you give yourself. But I think
feels a bit naughty.
Yeah, it is a little bit naughty, but also we've been pretty consistent with it as well. It's actually been quite rare that we have made exceptions. But I think if we can apply it in place that, wet races, race winner can always win it, or not always win it, they can always be nominated, barring that they haven't won it to that point, then I think that's fair enough.
So Weston Fisher and Lanyard having a close little battle.
Oh, look at this train.
Yeah.
So Weston's starting
under a bit of fire.
He's starting to be a bit of a cork in the bottle here. So we'll see how they can pick him off.
He wants to get past Damon as well. He's right up his clacker there.
Yep. This might be the one to watch, for the next few laps, because there are some very fast boys in here who'll be hungry to make positions. A lot of them who've made big positions in this race. So, you've got guys like Damon and Robbie who've dropped a couple out of the top 10, which they'll make back through the pit stops.
Yeah.
But they won't want to give these up without a fight. Obviously, Weston won't want to give up his positions without a fight because he had to earn them. Lanyon wants to keep fighting forward, so does Cesar. And then if DeGoey can get onto the back of this battle pack a bit better, he'll also want to be going for a bit of a send too. So this could get quite feisty.
Different lines coming through there as well. So you're going to see who comes out on top, getting a better exit off the corners. Let's see how we go. Lanyon looking on the inside there, showing a nose a little bit. Griffith also taking a fairly shallow line, but then opening it up again. Let's say we come down to, is it Eau Rouge? Oh, I don't know. I'm not even going to try and
the bottom is Eau Rouge, the top is Radion.
Eau Rouge, Radion.
Often drivers just claim the whole thing is Eau Rouge. It's just the bottom. This part here is Radion. So
It's actually, it's one of those sections of the track. There's about 3 sections on this track where your sort of heart's in your mouth a few times, and once you come through it and you go, well, you go, oh, that was a good one. And that was definitely a set of corners that, you had to be good, because good exit out of there, made sure you sort of kept close. Bad exit, lost. Lanyon's right on the back of Damon now.
He's trying to massage this pressure to go. Has he copped another one? Did he get another slowdown? I saw a puff of dust come off his car through Lake Com. I wonder if he cut it that little bit too much and he copped a slowdown.
You can't tell on SDK, can you?
No, it doesn't tell me, unfortunately.
That's a shame, yeah.
I'd have to be an admin of the replay session and have possibly iRace control open, but I don't even know if it'd tell me then, to be honest.
Well, we can only assume that's happened, but that's a shame, because that was a great little battle there. And as you see, Lanyon right up on the tail of Weston, so not bagging out Weston, but Weston just a little bit of a cork in the bottle for some of these faster drivers. You can see Lanyon really closing hard there under brakes.
We are
trying to get the best shot onto this section.
We are at critical lap now as well, so Tanek's come back into pit lane, although he's on lap 19, but he is a lap down at this stage. So if he does get the opportunity to get his lap back, he'll be able to fuel save anyway, because he'll be under the safety car. So this is probably as tight as Tanek wants to make it on fuel, it seems. As Lon Mackay and Craig Friend are currently trading positions further up, but this battle is getting heated. Lanyon wants this move.
Under over.
Blocked it well.
But he's got sideways a little bit out of that. Yeah, he's got sideways out of there, so he's lost a lot of traction. This has opened up Griffith to sort of try and come at him there, yeah.
So Friend, Viger, Crosby all into pit lane for their final stops of the race here, right onto the critical lap. So they're obviously planning on going 16 laps on a set of tyres. It's a long way to go at Spa. It's a real tyre killer of a circuit, but could pay off for them in the end. This might even be the extent of Crosby and Viger's strategy, because they pitted so early in the race. As Jeremy Bush has gone round at the final corner. He's moved from the Mustang this season to the Camaro, it seems. I don't know how willing he'll be to stick with the General Motors product after this race. As he has to get it back going again. Here comes Cesar on Griffiths round the outside. Good move there from Cesar as he battles his way forward further.
This is a great little battle pack, watching what's going on here.
I mean, if this is what we get all season, with some of the tracks we've got on the lineup, Brett, we are going to be in for an absolute belter. If we can have battling like this at Long Beach, which I love Long Beach, but it's not a battling track, it's a survive and strategize track. But if we can get battling like this on the streets of California, we're going to be in for an absolute cracker of a season. I mean, this is going to be intense. I had to. You are allowed to change cars, Andrew. You don't have to stick with the one manufacturer for the whole season. So,
not that we have to go up there, but just Christophe's still in front at the moment. But Viger's doing a great job. He's staying within that sort of like 2 second range, 1.5 to 2 second range. But Tim Allen really championed a bit now behind Viger as well. He's only about
didn't take long.
Two tenths off.
Didn't take long, Brett. Home improvement is back once again. Called Trent Tim again.
What? Oh, God, I didn't know. Oh, Jesus, sorry.
It's all right. It's okay. You called him Trent at the start of the night, to be fair. Yeah. So,
okay, yeah.
Wasn't the first time you mentioned his name,
I'll just say Alan. Sorry, mate. Such an idiot.
All right.
Anyway. But still, this battle pack is going fantastic. Oh, we've got a spinner, Weston and Lanyon. Yeah, that was a shame.
You felt it coming, didn't you? You felt it starting to brew. Because the percentages of battles being so close for so long and staying clean is very, very small. So, that there is that's a tough go. It's a tough go for Weston. So that has now promoted Halil Cesar, who made the move on Robbie Griffiths last lap, up 17 positions and now inside of the top 10. Griffo hot on his heels. De Goey having an absolute cracker tonight too, as is Simon Hedesheed. So these 4 guys, it almost feels that, you know, I've mentioned before, if Hedesheed can get a full season and he'll be for a strong run. Same thing for De Goey, but it's tough. He works FIFO, so he can't always be there. I have a feeling for Cesar and Griffo, who could get a full season in, these are going to be 2 of the guys to watch. I almost feel that these may be 2 of the guys who are battling maybe for P5 or P4 in the championship come the checkered flag at the final round at Okayama. So, you know, don't you know, up your nose at him or anything like that. I mean, Cesar was the second seeded driver in Split 2 after last season, after the top 5 went up. And Griffo, well, he's Robbie Griffiths. He is incredibly strong. I'm still yet to see him win a Split 2 title. And when he was in Split 2, I was kind of hoping he would win one. So maybe this is the season.
You never know.
Never know.
It's
anyone's game. It's anyone's game as soon as you get to round 1. Anyone can win it. So, again, we're only really going to
lose it. You can lose it quite easily.
You can.
By blowing a motor, you know.
Definitely puts you on wood very early. Tim Mulford, Lorne Mackay as well. The 2 drivers who took slightly less fuel under the stop have now worked their way inside of the top 5. Now, they will drop some time in the pit lane when they eventually come in for their final stop as well. So they're doing very, very well at this point as well. Andrew Hoffman is now up 1 position from where he started the race. In a great comeback story tonight. That there is the comeback story of the night for Andrew Hoffman. If he can stay here or keep fighting his way forward, this is a top-level performance from Andrew. This is a great performance as well. Damon saying it got 3 times in a row slowdown at Lacombe. So that's why he kept on dropping spots, was he copped the slowdown at Lacombe. As Lanyon's in pit lane, so of course he made the contact on the last lap with Scott West, and he comes through. We'll see if it's a drive-through or if it's just a stop. As he traverses down, and I think the driver should be.
Doesn't look like he's pulling in.
No, he's not. It's a drive-through, so he's obviously been found fault for that one. Wade Reynolds is back in pit lane as well. Drivers should be thankful for the fact that they didn't have to run the endurance pit lane. That is horrid. Going from the Grand Prix entry to the endurance exit up at the top of Radion is the slowest pit lane you will ever go through. It is horrible.
Take a cut lunch.
I mean, pretty much. Yeah, you could have a charcuterie board whilst trying to get up there. So be careful that you don't drop the dip on the uphill.
Powell on the back of Mackay at the moment too.
Mackenzie and Houghton are getting feisty.
Powell is only about 0.1, 0.2 off the back of Mackay at the moment. So that's, and with Tim Mulford as well. So that's a great little battle brewing there.
So Powell, thrown into the deep end, some would say this season. I would say appropriately placed into Split 2. I think could be a good season for him.
I mean, look. I mean, if you can sit in, P6 in the current, position, you're in the right spot.
Yeah.
Like even if he was in the top 15, I think he'd still be in the right spot.
Yeah, I think he's definitely been put in the right zone, and I think fair enough. Like they wanted to try and obviously they wanted to make it fair for the fact of Ray was sent up to Split 1. Kind of got to send Luke up 2 as well if you're going to do that, but also it makes it fairer for Split 3 because it's that some drivers. I think he got a little bit loose and he just kind of had to pull out.
He just had to
So I think if he was put into Split 3, some drivers may have looked at that at the face of it, knowing his pace, and may have thought this might be a write-off.
That's right. And that's the hard thing when you start a season and you got someone just blowing you all away. You just sort of think, what's going on here? And even like just looking at Crisdale and Viger and all this stuff, they're the top 10. There's not that much difference. They're not pulling away massively. So it's a bit of good strategy, a bit of good driving. Just having a look here.
We look at the 10. We look at the 10 at the moment as Mackay goes for it on Mulford at Lacombe. Up the
Can
inside.
He hold it out?
Bit of contact. And here comes Powell round the outside. great evasive action, and that's a top 4 spot for him.
Well done.
So if we look if we look at the top 10, just quickly, there's one former Split 1 driver in the top 10 right now from last season, and then one Split 4 driver in Luke Powell. Every other driver inside the top 10 was in Split 2 last season. So, you know, that shows you it's not going to be as easy for the Split 1 guys. The Split 2 guys are definitely going to bring the challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So it's that crossover, you know, and if it's a good crossover, it's still going to be good racing, you know, and there's not going to be any runaways. That last little incident looked very, very similar to the one before with Randall, didn't it? You know, like it had the same flavour
with Cesar and Crosby. Do you mean? And then
sorry, Crosby. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, a little bit similar.
Just had that same, just not enough room given, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's just unfortunate, you know.
It's a tough place to go side by side. I think both drivers, I mean, we'd have to have a better look at it to see the kind of angle that Mackay left Mulford to the inside of turn, technically turn 6.
And we're not going to do that, and that's why, you know, like we can just say, yeah, it looks similar, whatever the outcome is, but yeah, it's a tough, especially with those two corners, because you think you passed them, but you're not quite, and it's easy to put the nose of another driver. As we see Cruisedale in for his second pit.
Race leader into the pit lane, as Powell and Mulford are in as well. So
right, well that's good. We're going to see a true cleansing of the field in this top 3.
We will. So Allen now takes the lead. He'll get an extra point for leading a lap as long as he stays in the lead when he crosses the start-finish line. Viger P2, Clifton, Harland, Randall now your top 5. As Cesar's also in pit lane, as is DeGoey, as is Stoyles. And I've actually just seen the safety car. He has actually got the driver in at the moment, so... Ooh, I don't know if anyone's out there and calling for a tow at this stage.
I haven't blown another motor, have I?
No, you're still swimming around. You're still
No,
flopping.
I didn't blow 2 motors in one race. That'd be disgraceful. Plenty of action happening in the pits, though.
Oh, yeah. So, Cesar, Baxter, DeGoey, Mackay, Houghton, Stoyles, Hoffman in. Lanyon, Barella are in as well. Cesar's rejoined the circuit right next to Damon Fisher, who comes past him. Baxter, DeGoey hot on his heels. So, Baxter looks to go with Cesar here as they run up the hill. I wonder now how long... Oh, Baxter's run it way wide. That was an exit stage right moment for him. Drops now behind Reese to go. That'll be a 1X. No slowdown, I don't think. So, should be okay on that front. So, we'll see where Cesar now ends up. Mulford stayed ahead of him after the pit stop, but there may be a penalty coming. I'm not sure. Andrew, I'll give it to you. That there is just the general Infinity Broadcasting bottom graphic that I normally have running for the IWC as well. So I thought I'd just have them have it be the same, since this goes to the Infinity Broadcasting channel on YouTube. So I'll get the Twitch. I'll put it into the chat. And then that way, you guys can go follow Infinity Broadcasting on Twitch, and you can come support me over there during the IWC rounds and stuff like that. So just trying to build up the following on that one. There we go.
Yeah, I twitch every now and again.
I did one time, but I fell over in the shower when I did it. Wasn't a good time. So Chad Viger in out of P2.
Who's that car? Who's that busted up car? Is that
I
Bush?
think that there is... It's not Ben Brook.
No, Bush.
Michael Jones is in. Bruce. Yeah, it is Bush. Tanik's out as
what
well.
happened there?
I noticed. I don't know. I mean, we saw him get loose through the final corner as Viger, Griffiths, Heddersheed, Zeal, Haynes, Weston, Monday all into pit lane. So now we've got to keep an eye on the guys like Mulford, Powell, Cesar and Fisher, and where they actually end up in comparison to these drivers. The big gain is Cesar and DeGoey are well ahead of Steve Lanyon, who had that incident earlier on. Mulford's gotten past all of them. Bale's gotten past all of them, but he needs another stop in this race. Fisher and Cesar are going to get past them too as they are going door
Little
to
lock
door
up.
into turn 1.
Yeah.
Out comes Robert Griffiths. So
Uh-oh.
unfortunately for Cesar, he was held up there by Damon, and that's cost him a position.
Looks like he
that's-
might hold it. He's going to get tight coming
Oh.
through. Yeah, but no, he's backed out to go. He's backed out there. Nice. Probably a smart move there. Not really a good spot to go through too wide there. It's hard enough just keeping one car through there sometimes. Probably can be done, but not yeah.
To give you an update on the pit times, now there are some drivers who have only taken their first stop thus far, but there are some second stop times in there too. So we're waiting on Trent Allen, Mick Clifton, Mikey Harlan, Shane Randall, Paul Burns inside the top 5 to come into pit lane as well. So Chad Viger has actually jumped Rob Crisdale in this stop by way of taking more fuel on the first stop, having to take less on this one too. So that's worked out well for Viger.
Yeah, so it's only those people up the front that you just mentioned a couple of seconds ago who haven't taken their second stop so far. So
Bales has taken a second, but he was on lap 10, so he'll need one more to get home. As Trent Allen is in.
Right, yep.
So race leader into pit lane. Where did Zippy start? He's up 12. He avoided the incident on lap 1, turn 1, as Clifton Harland's kept going. He's going to take the extra point. So Clifton and Randall are into pit lane. So Mikey Harland is now the new race leader. He'll lead his first lap of the season, so we might give him some airtime here across this one. Yeah, so Zippy started P31. He's up 12, but he did gain a couple of free spots on the lap 1, turn 1 incident when he avoided the carnage, as did Simon Haynes, but he's done well to stay where he is. Same with Header Sheet, same with DeGoey. Says he did make up about 5 spots after turn 1, but he has had to make about 8 overtakes.
Trent Allen exiting pits.
Where's he? He's come out ahead of Chad Viger, so
Yeah.
the AI Double T Mustang has made a significant gain on the race lead, and he is now the corrected race leader as well. So, corrected podium, Allen, Viger, Crisdale, Friend and Powell in the top 5, Clifton and Randall then your top 7, and then it's questionable on if Harlan comes out in P8 or not. Now, he was just ahead of Randall when he came through pit lane. So this is going to be tight between them on pit exit. Undercut is strong in this car. Could play off well there for Randall to get the spot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he comes out. Could be on for young and old. 27 laps of 36 completed here.
As Harlan leads the field at the moment. Not that my cat cares, he just wanted to be let out of the door, so I'll just turn away for 2 seconds.
You're right.
Everyone else cares, though. Everyone else, barring him, cares about this race. As Brad Doble and Scott Weston battle away up towards Lake Com here, side by side. That's how it's done, boys. There you go.
Well, hang on. It hasn't been completed
No,
yet.
it hasn't been completed, but
There
they
it is. There
got
we
it. They
go.
got
No,
through
that's good.
clean. As
Yep.
Rick Viger has gone off the road at the end of the Kemmel Straight. And that looks to me
Yeah.
like a blown engine. I wonder if they'll let him
Going
tow,
on.
because he's far enough off the road. But that is a fast
Could be far
section.
enough, yeah.
So Mikey Harlan into
Mikey
pit
is
lane
in.
from the
Right,
lead.
let's see where he goes.
So we got to watch Clifton, Randall, and Mulford, because this was a roundabout where he was before the stop. And if he comes out ahead or behind them, and if the undercut's played off for them here as they come underneath the crowd strike sign up towards Blanchimont and then in towards the bus stop chicane too. So he's just gotten into the pit box, says Mikey Harland. So it was
Yeah, I'm watching his time.
he's dropping those spots, which we thought
Still.
he would.
Yeah. Still counting.
So Randall's was a 19.84.
19,
20.55.
20.55.
I reckon it's enough for Randall to get him.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. He's not going to. Although it's going to be close.
It's
yeah,
gonna be
Randall's-
close.
Oh, hang on.
Harlan's going to get
They're
out
gonna sit
ahead
by
of him,
side.
but Randall's
But
going to
he's
be
got
at
warm
pace.
tyres.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
got warm tyres. So Randall gets the job done on that one. So let's see if they can maybe work together to chase down Clifton and make it a little triple threat for us in the battle for P6. You know, Andrew, sometimes you learn the signs of when somebody needs to let their animal out of their room. For anyone who may not be able to see the chat, if you're watching after we're live, Rushy just said in the chat, I so knew that was you. That's what you were doing, Hamish, as soon as I heard the chair swivel around. So, but, I mean, this has been a very good race here.
Apparently Mikey's saying he's lifted for his homie. So.
Apparently he has. So,
apparently he has.
Yeah. Of course, he's
Damon.
Yeah, Damon he gave up the spot to Zippy.
Yeah.
I think he may have copped a slowdown at Radion.
Another slowdown. Jeez.
I think he was.
He's had a lot of slowdowns if that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's at. No, that'd be.
That was Arnie just giving up the position there for lap traffic.
Yep.
Well. So Craig
Powell,
Friend and Powell battle for P4 real estate. Don't want to give it up easily.
Powell just a little bit sideways there coming out of that turn, so he's trying hard to close that gap. Not that it's much of a gap. He's trying to get a good exit. Yeah, he's slowly closing that gap there, so this could be on. Down to 0.2.
You know what we can do with right now, Brett?
What?
A safety car.
We could.
Could you imagine?
I might be able to get a lap back.
Right, and you might be able to.
Yeah, might be able to lap back. Get back into this thing.
Get back into this race.
See how they go through here. Oh, closes that gap. Tries a little bit of a different line. Straightens the wheel. He's got a good exit. Oh, sideways. He's going to lose that extra little pace he had there coming through there. So that's unfortunate. It would have been a really good battle up to the first corner there. So what he does here.
It's amazing how quickly the race goes as Friend gets real loose off the exit of one. There's a bit of sand there on the track from the incident on lap one. Are they going to push for the side by side? Oh, my God.
This is going to be tight.
That's about as tight as you want to get it through there.
Yeah. Well done for Powell backing out of that, because I'll tell you what, that wasn't going to end well at all.
Yeah, a bit too tight just to slip it in. As he tucks back in behind him there.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm fist pumping the air right now. I cracked Brett very well with that one. Do you need some lubricant for your throat there, Brett?
No, mate. No, I'm all good. Thank you very much.
But this battling, though, is now beginning to drag Mick Clifton, Shane Randall, and Mikey Harland into this at this stage. It's amazing how quickly the laps can go by.
Oh, they do.
We are going to have
36.
Yep, we're going to have 7 to go when we cross the line. As Reese DeGoey's gone off the road. Oh my God, rejoins the circuit. Oh my God, Adrian Zeal. How in the hell did he avoid that? Oh, and Brett Taylor too. Oh, the domino effect there. I saw Rushy mention pineapple on pizza. The domino effect of that one.
That was getting hectic real quick.
It was.
It was getting wild.
So, through all that, though, Lon Mackay's come away fairly unscathed. Heddersheet and Haynes battling away as well. Cesar trying to chase down Griffiths.
Harland right on the ginger Randall, and Luke still on the back of Friend, which is a great little battle there. Back further, Damon's only about half a second away from Zeal. Skulls on the back of Doble, so they're the probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, I can count. But little battles going on at the moment.
So on board with Harland in behind Shane Randall. Trying to stick with him here up towards the bus stop chicane. And again, just fight their way forward. And look how quickly this battle pack can just really start to seize up and really start to condense. Because just this battling of Friend and Powell has dragged Clifton into it. It'll drag Randall and Harland into it. And if they're not careful, if we were to go green to the end, it'll drag Mulford into it as well. So these guys are really playing with fire. As Powell finally gotten it. He has gotten the move done. The debris on the edge of the circuit right on the racing line has cost Craig Friend P4 on the road and he's now under pressure from the run up the hill of Mick Clifton. If he can tuck right into the slipstream, he may be able to go for a send down at Lacombe.
Yeah, and Randall and Harland are really closing that gap now too, so this is going to be, a little look there, no, too far away there, but yeah, this is closing up big time.
Yeah, this is only going to continue to condense. Now, if Clifton starts...
Harland's just dropped off the back.
Yeah,
he
he's
must have got to
dropped
slow
off,
down.
quite possibly. So if
Yeah,
Friend
what a
now is started to be put under pressure from Clifton, watch Powell get ready to run away. So needs to be some thought processes here from Clifton and co behind him. Maybe not worth battling with Friend just now. Maybe better to work with him to get and stay on the back of Powell if you can, because you will give up time very, very quickly.
And he's Powell is starting to clear out a little bit.
Yeah. Just a touch.
So this battle pack now just spreading out. Randall's still fairly close to Clifton. And Mikey's just starting to come back at Randall after that bit of a slowdown. A lot of debris there. I don't mind the debris on the track too. It just adds another element.
Just another piece that can throw you out a little bit here. Mackay has now begun to be caught by Simon Heddersheed. So hoping that Simon can get it not only a full season under his belt, but a strong season too. He's got a lot of racing ability. Multiple time race winner here in Split 2. Same with Lorne Mackay as well. So these guys have become mainstays of Split 2 now over the last sort of 10 seasons or so. Couple of appearances up in Split 1, but you think of Split 2, these are two of the first names I think of at least of who's been around the longest and who's been around the most consistently. These guys along with Mick Clifton, Shane Randall, Halil Cesar as well. Simon Haynes is starting to get up there, same with Zippy, same with Damon, yourself Brett too, Scotty Weston, so these are all becoming mainstay Split 2 names of drivers who are here season upon season.
Oh, that's a blown motor in pits. Who's that in pits?
It's Tanek. He left his car running.
Oh,
so he's obviously
right.
he's cooking up some sausages or something on the front of that car.
There's a barbecue.
There is a barbecue at this stage. As Lorne Mackay, Simon Heddersheed's just got past him. That's a massive moment for Lorne Mackay on the Kemmel Straight. The car's parked on the straight there. This has got to be a safety car. That is in a very unsafe position on the right-hand side. And, I mean, you can just see the pace of the cars coming up the hill. Watch this on board with Burns. Oh, my God.
Scary spot. Absolutely scary spot to come up that hill.
We need another one.
Going flat out.
On board with Lovegrove. I mean... You have got some warning, but if there are guys coming up there too wide,
if you run it, and if you're running a little bit wide, you don't see it in time. That is a catastrophe waiting to happen. But Harlan, Randall, and Clifton all closed up on the back of Friend as well. So, and we are under safety car.
So safety car's
null and void.
Safety car's been called at this point in time. So this is now going to put some pressure on the guys, not only within the top 10, but further back in the field too, have just started to be in their rhythm, but with a nice gap behind them. So you think of Cesar, who has 11 seconds back to Heddersheed. That's about to become null and void. The benefit for him is, though, he's now on the back end of the top 10 as well. Allen's lead as well is about to go...
out the window. You're talking about Cesar up 16 spots. Heddersheed up 17 spots. Simon Haynes up 17 spots. Adrian Zeal up 17 spots. All from 11, 12, 13 and 14. Back down to Damon, 15 spot. He's down 6 positions, but Matty Scholes up 26 positions in 16. So
yeah, but
there's some big movers.
There are some big movers throughout this race. Weston up 10 too, although he was unfortunately in an incident earlier. So this has actually been a good comeback from him in this race.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely some pressure now. We have got 5 laps to go, and we are under safety car as the cars come round past the carcass of the XSR. Camaro was Randall was nearly caught out then by the car being there. Of course, these guys wouldn't have seen it last lap. It happened behind them. But yeah, race control swiftly getting the safety car out, trying to get this done as quickly as possible. There'll be some waiver rounds to happen, and then it'll be green flag running. So we're going to take this time to have a quick ab break whilst we're under the safety car. Don't go anywhere. We will be back very, very shortly. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A massive thank you to our series sponsor, the title sponsor of the series since season 18, Racecraft Simulations. Head over to 16 Grogan Road, Perth Airport. Have a chat to John and the team. Check out some of the rigs they've got on the floor. Test them out. Maybe even buy one of your own if you've got the spare coin. And support those guys because they've supported the vets for so long. Also, big shout out to all the other series sponsors: Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Player One Sim Gear, Nova Simsports, LGC Images, Chubby Buns Burgers for the Driver of the Day award, and the latest sponsor to the vets from a couple of seasons ago now, Südspeed gloves as well. For the Driver of the Day award, I think at the moment, a couple of the hot favourites, maybe Luke Powell for a solid performance in his first Split 2 race. Brett, I think out of Halil's header sheet, Haynes, Zeal, whoever finishes ahead of each other might get the nod. Yep. Hoffy for his comeback, if he can get back to where he started the race, that would be one.
He's currently 3 down from where he started from, so that's huge effort from Hoffy. Someone we haven't talked about before too, and don't say he's a driver of the day, but we haven't heard much of Nick Horsler since he's been in this series. And he's doing right. I'm not saying he's a DOD, but he's up 18 spots at the moment. But he's just been very quiet. Hasn't really sort of gelled into Split 2 just yet. But hopefully he'll find his feet and start pushing forward.
Yeah, hopefully he can. As you said, find some pace. Maybe start battling for these top 25 positions.
Yeah, definitely.
Get some solid points on the board. I saw an incident that apparently happened with Andrew Hoffman and Reece Segoe, but there's no damage on either car, so Not sure what's happened there between those guys. Maybe a slight bit of damage on the rear of that car, but it looks okay. I think other than those names, I mean, we can maybe look at Haaland or Randall for their performances as well. Because I think with, you know, the easy answer might be, oh, just, you know, either Halil, Simon or Adrian. Well, you've also then got to think about the fact of, well, they've battled their way through, but one of them would cancel the others out because they'd beat them. So if one of the four were to beat the other guys, and if they were to get into the top 10, well, then that kind of makes the other guys null and void.
He's in the tick. Yeah. Yep. Sure.
Yeah, and then Stoyle's up 26. He's done well, but could he have qualified better if he's managed to fight his way that far forward as well? So there's also that thought process too. But restarts could mean anything. Could take these drivers out of that contention, and then we have to think of a completely different four set of names. So.
Oh, don't make me do that. No, that's all right. It's all good.
So I believe the safety car will be in this lap as the wave rounds has been completed. What's your pick? What are you thinking here, Brett?
Well, I like your Hale Cesar, Simon Hedersheed, Simon Haynes, Adrian Zeal, but whoever out of that little pack there does the best. I think I like that. Yeah. Does that give you enough?
Oh no, I meant on like race winner at this point.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking. Oh, right. Okay. For race winner, well, look, I'll tell you what. Trent Allen's going to be hard to. If he can get a clean start, there's only 3 laps. If he can get a clean start, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to beat him, I think. Chad's been able to hang with him relatively close, but he's been able to just pull slightly away. So unless he's going to pull something out of the bag, Chrisdale, well, that's a possibility, but it just depends on how they all go on the restart, because I think 3 laps is going to be pretty tight to, you know, get the tyres back up to temperature and pressure and get yourself settled after a restart. So it really comes down to how they go on the restart.
I think drivers are going to have to be cautious off this race restart as well, as the safety car is pulled away. So on board on the driver's eye of Trent Allen, he will have control of the field. Viger hot on his heels too. I think Chad's had a strong run tonight as well. If he can maybe solidify this P2, could be one of the nominees here this evening. But regardless of that, there have been some very, very strong racing performances tonight. Tim Mulford as well, up 4 inside of the top 10. Him and Randall have got the most positions gained to enter the top 10 at this stage. Everyone else has either remained or dropped out of the top 10 for those who have gained positions. For Trent Allen... Oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
No, you're right. I was just going to say, you know, just this race overall, I think it hasn't been a runaway from anyone, but there's obviously been some incidents which have taken people out. But I think overall, there's been some fantastic battles as Trent puts the foot down and goes. But there's been some battles all the way up and down the field that have been great. So far, it is building. And Trent has got a great little jump there.
He's done well, and he's gotten us back under green. Lap 34 of 36, 3 laps to go here at Spa. As we've gotten restarted here, Damon Fisher has had to pull on the side of the road. Looks to be some sort of issue, whether it's an internal issue or what.
Yeah, I'm spewing for him, actually. He had a bit of an emergency. He had to leave the server.
I'm so glad you actually pulled that one out. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate for Damon, because he was sitting in 15 spots, so it's a real disappointment, unfortunately, that he had to leave the server. Anyway, that is what it is. But Trent has done a great job. He's pulled about a second out. Viger's pulled about a second out as well, 2.5 to Chrisdale. But Luke Powell is champing at the bit, and there's a few behind him. So there's a couple little challenges going. Well, there's a lot of challenges going all the way up and down the field,
including this one for the podium at this stage. Luke Powell,
yeah,
hot on the heels of Rob Crisdale. Craig Friend in behind him as well. And then Clifton, Randall, Harland and Mulford battling away. Griffo and Cesar. Oh,
it's going to be a hot little band. It's going to be a hot little battle.
I mean, we know how tough these guys like to race. Harland is notably a very, very tough customer in terms of battling. He wants to have a good race. He wants to have a good battle as well. Mulford wants to have a battle. So this could get feisty. Both of them, though, top-level performers. So they're going to try and do their best to beat the other or try and gain some free spots in the process.
Yeah, and I think cool heads prevail in this sort of situation too. You know, like it's nice to take advantage of, but unless a driver makes a mistake or you can force a mistake out of a driver, it's, you know, like, yeah, you just don't want to do anything desperate. Like, so, you know, why do you want to destroy your own race? Yeah.
You know, you've then got to take the thought process of how willing are you to give up, you know, 2 points or 4 points. You know, is it worth the points that are on offer for the one extra spot?
No, and that's right. I mean, you know, like, everyone's different. We're racers and all sorts of stuff, so racers going to race. But at this, if I was in some of these positions, you know, if someone makes a mistake, take advantage, but be happy to collect the points that you're currently in line for. So
Trent Allen has rocketed away from Chad Viger here. Rob Crisdale under immense pressure at the moment from Luke Powell as they send it up Eau Rouge, up and over Radion at the top of the hill. And the pressure is being applied at its pure maximum at this stage. Harland and Mulford too battling away here.
Oh,
Harland covers the line.
Yeah, Mulford diving to the inside. This might get a little bit hairy, but no, pulls out, which is a smart idea.
Yep, Harland using his 2 moves there, so good defensive acumen from him.
Because we have seen a little bit of hair-raising stuff going through that corner back there before, so it's good to see the drivers that play a bit of common sense.
This whole battle pack, in fact, has kind of run away from Haynes, Heddersheet and Co. And behind them. So back of the train is Cesar, then Griffo, then Mulford, Harland, Randall, Clifton, Friend, Powell, and then Crisdale leads this battle pack. Viger and Allen have run away with things. In fact, new fastest lap of the race goes to Trent Allen, 2:23.77 on that last lap. Absolutely crazy. Low fuel, full send. I'm a little bit disappointed that he didn't continue the stat. If he were to win here tonight, it'd be the first time in Split 2 that he's won the first round of the season. Because the first 2 seasons, he's won his first race of the season in round 2. So would have been nice to keep that little trope going.
But Viger's done really, really well here too, and I think he's been able to stay. I mean, I know he's about 1.8 seconds behind him, but he's managed to pull that gap on Crisdale as well. So kudos to Viger for having a great race too. He's managed to do very, very well there. So
white flag lap about to come our way here as the race leaders traverse the bus stop chicane. 1 lap to go of Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. 7 kilometres left. We've done 243 of the 250. And the checkered flag will fly the next time by. So Crisdale's now able to break away here from Luke Powell, who's under pressure from Craig Friend. Clifton, Randall trying... Oh, don't kick me out now, please. Very good.
No,
we're still going.
Righto. Don't trip over the plug. Geez, that's looking racy. Look at him go.
I know. Friend wants this P4 so badly. But so does Powell. So neither of them are going to want to give it up. Harland and Mulford continuing their battle here too. So they're getting a bit feisty towards the end.
Might have got a good exit. Harland covering off. Mulford going for a big dive on the inside.
That was a very sort of late,
smart move again.
Aggressive move to the inside line. Yeah. Couldn't quite get it done though.
Right up his clacker.
Right.
Brakes. Geez, that's nearly out of boot.
Full of Chubby Buns.
Yeah. a boot full of Mulford.
He might be requesting Chubby Buns get a new burger with some ginger jam. He's that far up his ginger at the moment, so... So Trent Allen at the moment, who has had an incredible race, up one position, has won a few races prior to now here in Split 2, but he's yet to put a full season together of being able to race from green to checkered from round 1 to round 10. And I said at the start, if he can put a full season together, he will be a challenger. He is a very talented driver on board the AITT entry of Revolution E-Racing. Chad Weiger's gone with him all night as well. He's had a very strong performance. Rob Crisdale, Luke Powell, Craig Fender. It's great to see Chad back in form, fighting at the front of the field. And if he can keep this up all season, he'll be one to watch as well. So as we run up towards Blanchimont for the final time here this evening for Trent Allen, it is a top-tier performance from AITT. He's made it through pretty much the final destructive area on the track and up towards the bus stop chicane as well. Trent Allen comes through the final couple of corners and he'll take the win for round 1 of season 24 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans. As there's been some contact in the background, Harlan's gone round. You have a feeling that Mulford's been involved in that one, because that could mean a penalty. They were very tightly contested. It's allowed Cesar into the top 10, who got past Griffo in the end, up 18 positions into P9. Weiger got home in P2. Crisdale, Powell, Friend the top 5. Clifton, Randall, Mulford, although there's a bit of an asterisk on that one because there could be a penalty. Cesar, Griffiths, the top 10. Hedesheed, Harlan, Zeal, Haynes, Crosby, back up to where he started the race in his 200th race start. Now, I think we need to ask the question here, Brett. Who gets the hard yakka nomination for Driver of the Day tonight? Is it Andrew Hoffman or is it Darren Crosby? Because they both had to fight hard to come back up through the positions. But Crosby made it back to where he started. Hoffy was a couple of spots off.
It's got to be Crosby, I think.
Okay.
We'll go Crosby on that. And a bit of a shout out to my teammate there, Brad Dable, 13 spots up, finishing P20. Feeling as crook as a dog, so that's a huge effort from him too. So that was great to see. Nothing short for anyone else, but I just thought that I'd just chuck that in there.
So the 4 nominees are into the chat now. You can only vote once, and you can only pick one. Halil Cesar, Luke Powell, Darren Crosby, or Chad Weiger for Driver of the Day this evening, in what was an incredible race to the end. A fantastic win for Trent Allen as well. His first win of the season. He'll now lead the championship into round 2. So we'll get some B-roll going for you in preparing ourselves for the next portion of the night, which would be our podium interviews. Whether the podium's actually going to come and have a chat to us or not.
Well, if they don't, they're gonna listen to you and myself chat about more stuff.
Yeah, we could talk about wineries. I know you live in Mudgee, so we could talk about wine. Not that I'm a big wine drinker, but I like grapes, so you know, and currants.
Oh, showing your age now, undeveloped palate.
I like scotch. I don't like wine.
That's all right.
Oh, it's looking pretty unanimous at this stage. I think it's pretty easy. We can call this at this point. Chubby Bunsberger's Driver of the Day this evening. P2 on the road. Chad Weiger in an incredible effort.
Well done. Return
to form for him.
Huge.
I think all 4 deserved it tonight, personally. But I think Chad, he did have an incredible race. I mean, a podium.
Yeah, he impressed me.
Back up to his form, the form we expect of him, as well. So that there was a fantastic effort tonight. I think coming off of this race, the things to think about. I think Hoffy showed great pace and great resolve to try and come back from the incidents that he had. Same for Crosby as well. I think we had to give it to Crosby because of the fact he actually got to the position he started, where Hoffy was just off. I think Haaland unlucky not to finish inside the top 10. I think the drivers who made up those positions through that race, Cesar, Hedesheed, Zeal, Haynes, Stoyles, Weston, Doble, Monday, Hasler, Lovegrove, Baxter, great runs tonight. I just think, because Cesar got the 10 and he beat all of them, I think that's the best of the lot. Mulford up 5, but again, there's a bit of an asterisk there because there very likely could be a penalty coming his way. And then, good to see Shane Randall back in form. Same with Clifton. Powell taking it to the big boys of Crisdale and Friend, the former Split 1 drivers who finished inside the top 10. And then, license points going to be a big thing because
license points this season is gonna be huge.
the one that was majorly close, Bruce Tannick, was on the knife's edge of a round ban. And if he's I think he may have copped a penalty. Let me look at the sheet. Yes, he copped a penalty with 2 license points. So I believe next round he'll be away with a round ban. So again, we mentioned it. Hurt. The license points are going to be a big factor this season, no matter who you are. So, if people are getting close, we're going to call them out for it this season. Yeah. Not as a dig, but this is the state of play. This is where drivers are. They've now got to be careful. So
yeah. Nothing against the drivers themselves or anything like that. It's just obviously these things are going to come into play, and they're going to come and play in the championship, and they're going to hurt some people, and so like it needs to be on the forefront of everyone's mind too. You need to be aware of where your points are at. And drive accordingly. Otherwise, you're going to sit out races, and it's going to hurt your championship sort of contention. So
yeah, exactly. Well, none of the podium finishers are coming over to chat to us tonight, it seems. So we are apparently the least popular commentary crew.
That's okay.
According to them,
I can deal with that.
That's fine. They miss out on getting to chat to us. But we'll have a quick look, though, at the provisional race results of the evening, if it will decide to show. It will indeed. Trent Allen takes the race win ahead of Chad Viger and Rob Crisdale on the podium here this evening. Luke Powell, Craig Friend, the top 5. Mick Clifton, Shane Randall, Tim Mulford, Halil Cesar, Robbie Griffiths, then the top 10. Simon Hedesheed, Mikey Harland, Adrian Zeal, Simon Haynes, Darren Crosby, the top 15. Matt Stoyles, Scott McKenzie, Scott Weston, Matt Scholes, Brad Doble, then the top 20. Great effort from all those drivers to get inside of the top 20 this evening. As we then drop down to see Matt Monday, Reese DeGoey, Nick Hasler, Andrew Hoffman, Derek Lovegrove, top 25. Paul Burns, Peter Baxter, Michael Quain, Rick Viger, Steve Lanyon for the top 30 here this evening. Sean Cullen, Alistair Bales, Wade Reynolds, Brett Fisher, Richard Barella, the top 35 ahead of Mark Houghton, who unfortunately disconnected with a lap to go there for Mark. So hopefully onwards and upwards there for him in the next round. Lon Mackay's teammate in behind, Jeremy Bush, Damien Fisher, Dave Arney, then the top 40. With Brett Taylor, Bruce Tannick, Michael Jones, Ben Brook, and Chris Blanchard at the back of the field. Todd Duggan not going here tonight. He was having some internet issues at the beginning of the race, and I think he called it quits, unfortunately, before the race even began. So it's a shame there for Todd. We got Hoffy in the green room. Brent come over to chat to us. Unfortunately, I think we'll have a chat to Hoffy post-race just because we want to try and keep it to the podium finishes this season. No offense to Hoffy. I feel, Brett, that if you get on the podium, you earned the interview in the booth, I think. So
for sure.
It's a little special thing for the podium finishes. So sorry to Hoffy, but get on the podium, then or get driver of the day. Get driver of the day or get on the podium, and then we'll have a chat to you. So, if you want to stick around for a chat afterwards, Hoff, more than welcome to hang around. We'll have a chat to you post race. But you know what? It's been a fantastic race to start out the season, Brett. We started out incredibly, incredibly strong tonight here at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. I think next week, when we head over to our leg of 4 US races in a row, beginning with Road Atlanta, we are going to be in for something special. This circuit's thrown up some incredible racing over the course. 200 Ks of Road Atlanta to come your way next season. Hoffy's not supposed to be in the green room, apparently. But yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible start of the season. So looking forward to next week. I love Road Atlanta. Absolutely fantastic track. I love it for racing. Love it for broadcasting.
And I think we've had a great start to this season. I think it's already sort of building. And look, there's been some winners and some losers in this round. But that's racing and that's going to happen. But I think, we'll see by next race where we're at and see what's happening. But I think it's on. It's warming up. It's heating up already. It's just slightly over simmer. And I think next week's going to show us where it's all at.
When are we going to get to Kelvin?
Oh, don't know yet. We just don't know.
Apparently, we're getting a hot race this season as well. So we could be in for a scorcher that week, Brett.
We'll be in for a scorcher, and if it's anything, the heat might get it right up there. But look, we don't know whether we'll get any Kelvin or Scovilles or Chernobyls or anything. We're not sure yet, but we'll just have to see how the season builds. But I don't know. I feel something. It's brewing. It is brewing. Once again,
there is something in the loins. It feels of there's something that's going to happen this season.
It's fermenting.
It is fermenting. It's like we're in for, as the hipsters would love, we're in for a kombucha of a season here. We are fermenting away, really building up something for a strong season ahead. I'm disgusted at myself for referencing kombucha as a fermentation when I could have said an alcohol of some kind, like rum, whiskey or wine. But
I thought you were going there, but anyway.
So did I. I didn't. But yeah, I mean, what a race, what a start to the season. Trent Allen will carry the orange number into the next round as the championship leader. I think last season did Jim race round 2. I know that it was one race we had last season where the championship leader didn't race the week after they got the orange number. So then we just didn't have an orange number on the grid. I know Logan Barnett did that the season prior. I'm not sure about last season, but we'll see. But it's been an absolute incredible pleasure once again to be with you to call the action. If you're watching over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well. If you're watching on the Vets channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing here in the Vets. For the Split 2, Split 3, Split 4 action right here on the Vets channel, go check out SimSpeed TV, subscribe to them so then you get notified whenever the Split 1 action happens on Thursday nights. And if you're watching on the Vets channel, move over to Infinity Broadcasting, hit the subscribe button, go follow us on Twitch as well so you're notified whenever we go racing there. We've got the Vets here on Saturday nights for the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans. Monday nights we got the VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series with notable names like Corey Lazarus, Job Stewart, Super 2 driver running in there as well. It's been a fantastic start to that season. And on the Fridays we've got some Vets drivers out there running in the IRWC Rod Knock Cup as well, so you guys will be able to check out that action too. But yeah, big shout out to all the series sponsors, of course, the title sponsors, Racecraft Simulations, long-time supporters of the series. So a massive, massive thank you to them for their continued support. As well to Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu Utes, Player One Sim Gear, Nova Simsports, Südspeed gloves, LGC Images, and Chubby Buns Burgers Chubby Buns Burgers for the Driver of the Day award. Tonight it went the way of Chad Viger. Next week it could go to you. But I'm Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside for round 1 of season 24 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Split 2 action out at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. We'll see you guys next week for Road Atlanta. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Can't wait to hear those engines roar. Hot days and summer nights, finish line in the sights. Can't wait to hear those engines roar. There'll be sparks flying, rubber burning, doors banging, temperatures rising. Can't wait to hear those engines roar. There'll be hot days and summer nights, finish line in their sights. Can't wait to hear those engines roar. There'll be sparks flying, rubber burning, doors banging, temperatures rising. Can't wait to hear those engines roar. They're gonna roll. Ooh, they're gonna roll.
The Racing Series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, They all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. Very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In the sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Introducing the Racekraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racecraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racecraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.